Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mindset Model podcast and YouTube. Wherever you're watching or listening, hello and welcome. So excited to have you here today in this incredible episode. Now, this episode has been inspired by the changes that I've noticed over the last however many years. I mean, I've been studying manifestation and mindset for about 10 years, and I've really noticed a shift in the direction, the teachings, and it's a really good one. I'm here for it, and I really wanted to dive into this with you today. Now, like a lot of people, we first discovered the power of manifestation from reading the book The Secret. This is where we were like, oh, okay, so the power of your thoughts can change your reality. You can manifest your dream life with what you believe. And there was a quote in the book, ask, believe, receive. And all of the teachings that I've learned over the last 10 years, I really wanted to bring it back to basics. So, what I do with the mindset model, I really want to make all of this so simple and easy for everyone to understand, so that everyone can, harness the power of their mindset and genuinely live the life that they love. This is what it's all about. And it's been made so complicated. All of the different things that you read and listen to. And I really wanted to dive in today about essentially what you believe you will receive. And this is absolutely correct. It's so simple, but there is a lot of things, a lot of obstacles which can get in our way. So, this is what I'm going to be talking about today. Um, and as I said, I've noticed that the way that manifestation is being taught, you know what I'm trying to say, it has started to change. Now, I am so grateful that I am mentored by the best manifestation teachers on the planet, the absolute best. So, my mentor is Kathleen Cameron. She's the best. She calls herself KCB, which is basically her energy of being a billionaire. I love that energy for her. She's incredible. And also Catherine Zenkina as well. Now, Catherine has taken a little bit of a break from teaching just for personal reasons, but she's just recently come back on the scene. I'm so excited. And what was really interesting, her teachings are now really diving into nervous system regulation. I was like, that is really interesting. Because if I reflect back to 2025, when I launched my beautiful brand, the Mindset Model, I noticed that I was being really called to work with a certain couple of coaches, Nikki Antonaccio, who is my well-being coach, my nutritionist, all of that good stuff. I was really drawn to work with her because there was something that was calling me into really looking after my health and well-being, because yes, I'd done a lot of the mindset work, but there was something missing, something really important. And I'd noticed that there was a lot of hustle vibes within like the mindset industry, very masculine energies. So back in 2022, I did the Thinking into Results program with Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor, incredible human. Um, and he taught some incredible principles, but they were very in the masculine energy of do, get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, study this, study that. And again, something was missing, and everything essentially is a balance. So you have got your masculine energies and your feminine energies. And this is nothing to do with being a boy or a girl, nothing to do with that. We all have these energies. And then again, I was really called to work with Kaylee Greenacre, and she is a business strategist. But her messaging was very much about being this iconic leader. And that was something that I found really, really interesting as well. So I've noticed this shift over the last couple of years where there's a lot of empowerment for women, but also slowing down to speed up, taking that pause and focusing on your nervous system regulation. I was like, this is really, really exciting. And this shift means that people are feeling more empowered to slow down, take a breath, pause, and actually dive into what do you genuinely want and start manifesting from a place that feels aligned and more of an energy of, yes, this is absolutely going to happen and I cannot wait, rather than a, I need this immediately, otherwise I'm unworthy. So I just thought that was absolutely incredible and it makes so much sense. And even coming into January this year, Kathleen Cameron was doing I think it was like a well-being program, but even I've just noticed it across the industry, people are really starting to wake up at the fact that your health is the foundation and pinnacle of everything. When you can actually harness your health and be the best version of yourself, that is when you can really create the best dreams, goals, and desires from that place. It really does work. And then it got me thinking into uh, a lot of studies that I've done. I've noticed some of the teachers saying, "Oh, the reason why many of us don't know how to manifest what we want and we're not living our dream lives is because there is a control element." And I find it really interesting that people are really leaving their health to last. So we will always focus on the doing. We need to do this, we need to do that, we need to hustle, we need to grind, we need to get the work done, but we're forgetting about our health. And, we're eating the over processed foods and, things which are readily available are always the things which are really, really bad for us, like the high sugar, the processed carbs, all the shitty stuff is really readily available. But all the good stuff never really gets spoken about, or it's more of a premium price. And it really does make sense that there is an element of control here. Let's try and keep the people feeling tired, feeling lethargic, and hustling away because when they are in that space, they're not creating, they're not thinking for themselves, they're not wanting to grow and be the best versions. Just very interesting observation there. So, I am here to lead the way in I am looking after my own health. I am creating this incredible, well-being ritual, which I do every single day because I want to be the best version of myself for you. And the teachings that I teach on my podcast and my YouTube come from the best energy. They come from the most incredible people that I learn from. And confidence is where I really, really thrive. The confidence teaching, being a confidence mentor, because I believe this is the missing piece where a lot of people don't have the confidence to really say yes to their goals, dreams, and desires. They believe that they're not good enough or they're not able to do it for whatever reason. But imagine if you had the confidence to say, yes, I'm going to go after what I really, really want to do. Imagine if you had the confidence to speak up in the meeting or go for that job or start that business or run the marathon, change a habit, get rid of toxic friends. Imagine if you did those things, your life would just feel so much different, so much better. So, as going back to the what you believe you will receive, I really wanted to break this down into really bite-size information, little nibbly bits here. So hopefully this does make sense to you. So first of all, believe. What do you believe? What would you like to believe? These are two different things. So, what you actually believe has probably been programmed into you from your caregivers, your family, your friends, school, whatever, society. But what would you like to believe? What do you want to believe that is in alignment with your dreams, goals, and desires? So I'll give you an example. Maybe you're somebody who wants to believe that you are a wealthy entrepreneur, or I don't know, a corporate badass bitch, like you are running the show. Or I don't know, you want to be the best mother ever and, make sure your kids are absolutely flourishing. I don't know, whatever you really, really want. Do you actually believe that? Because this is what happens. So, say, for example, the first one, you're a wealthy entrepreneur. So you're like, yeah, I believe that. I'm going to believe this. But then your actions don't match up because then you are starting to complain how expensive everything is, how you're not going to go to that restaurant because it's too pricey. Oh my gosh, look at her. She just bought that handbag. I can't believe she spent all of that money on that. Do you see where I'm going with this? Your actions and the way that you talk don't align with your dreams, goals, and desires. So, moving into the next bit is everything is a frequency and an energy. So, if you're saying to yourself, I am this wealthy entrepreneur, but you don't believe it, you are giving off this energy and this frequency of someone that doesn't believe. And that is going to attract to you that reality. That it's really simple, but it can take a little while for you to get your head around this. And when you're in that energy of, yes, I'm going to be this wealthy entrepreneur, but deep down you have this feeling of lack and no, actually, I don't really think that's going to happen for me. The prices are going up, the council tax is going up, that's going up, there's a war going on, the petrol prices, like all of these things. It again, that is such a repellive, is that a word? Repellive. We're going to go with it. You know what I mean, don't you? That is going to really repel your what you genuinely want, being in that energy. Now I can hear you saying that's all well and good, but how the devil do I start believing when everything around me is a shit show? Well, this is when you lean into the gratitude and actually looking around you because we are so quick to go off on one and be like, well, this is terrible, that is terrible. But we do not actually take note of the abundance we genuinely have in our lives. If you are watching this on a laptop or a phone, you are wealthy as fuck because those things are expensive. So, how does that make you feel? Feel into that. I'm so lucky that I can actually afford to be speaking on this MacBook right now or watching this on my iPhone. There's so many ways that you can tap into that frequency of wealth, and you don't have to go around spending thousands of pounds. You just have to be aware of what you have already in your life. When you go downstairs and turn the tap on, does water come out? Yes, it fucking does. You are very wealthy and abundant because there's people on this planet which can't go downstairs and turn a tap on. Do you have a roof over your head? Yes. Well, there we go. This is where you can start taking note. And the more that you notice all of the abundance and the wealth that you have around you, the more that will help to elevate your frequency. So, that is your beliefs. Start building your beliefs by clocking those little micro moments, the things that you have at the moment, that evidence. Now we're going to move into the receive thing. Now, this is really interesting because if I was to say to you, hey, here is a couple of £1 million. No, do you know what? Here's £1 billion. And I would say to you, you've got that, and you're like, yeah, I am receiving that. Obviously, give it to me. But the interesting thing here is you might, on a conscious level, be like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to take this £1 billion. Thank you so much. But on a subconscious level, that is danger and threat your nervous system is not ready to receive that £1 billion. That is why so many people that win the lottery, they have it and then the money disappears and then they end up back to where they are because they don't have that identity of somebody who has that amount of money. They don't actually know what to do with that money. And it's all to do with our nervous system regulation and our subconscious or unconscious mind, whatever you want to call it. Because we are all set on a frequency, going back to the frequency. And that is why it's so important, if you have got a big goal and desire, and make sure you do, that you build up that identity of the person that has that thing. I'm going to give you an example today of how I do this. So I do little steps. So say, for example, one of the biggest things that I manifested this year was being interviewed by Kathleen Cameron. Yes, the #1 manifestation coach. She interviews like mega stars like Sanaa, I forgot her last name, but she's done incredible films. Jason Derulo, who is a music artist. She's had the most incredible people that she's interviewed, and she interviewed me. Now, if this was Sarah 5 years ago, I would have lost my fucking shit. I would have had a meltdown and I would have probably cancelled the interview and I'd be like, absolutely not, no way, because my nervous system and my identity was not of somebody who gets interviewed by global icons. No, that so I had to work on this identity to receive this manifestation. So, what did I do? Oh my goodness me, I took little steps. So, I started to become visible. I created my podcast, my YouTube, and then I started being interviewed on other people's podcasts. This really helped to build up my confidence and make it my new normal, making these things your new normal. What would that look like if you were a wealthy person, a millionaire or billionaire? How can you make that normal for you? How can you normalize it? Because when you normalize it, you regulate your nervous system and your unconscious mind. It accepts it. It's like, brilliant. Of course we are. Of course we get interviewed by global icons. Absolutely. Bring that in. And it's all about exposing yourself to those environments, which getting out of your comfort zone. Again, another thing that I do is in my career, like I am speaking to very, very successful business owners. And it does feel uncomfortable because it's the first time that I'm doing it, but that helps to build my confidence. And yes, I do belong in these rooms. So what can you be doing to build your confidence? Which rooms can you be going to, which stretches you that little bit further? Because the goal here is to make receiving your end result feel so natural and normal. So, just to recap, believe and receive. What do you believe about you? What do you believe about your beliefs? What are your truths? What can you change? What can you pivot? And how can you make sure that when you get what you want, you are receiving that with open arms? You're so excited. It's your new normal. So have a few reflection questions this week and really, really dive into, if you can, some nervous system regulation practices, your meditations, your breath works, your getting out in nature, because that is when all of those creative ideas come down into your mind, and that is the way forward. So I hope you enjoyed this episode today.